Channel 11 News starts with severe weather Team 11 coverage.
Storm tracker Doppler 11 radar showing widespread rain, and there is no avoiding it. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Jennifer Tomazik. You know, some neighborhoods are going to see some heavy rain, even maybe some storms. Meteorologist Jessica Faith is tracking it all in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, so the radar has been very busy this morning, and we could get a little bit more active this afternoon, not only with a lot of rain, but also some thunderstorms. Not seeing any lightning right now, so no thunderstorms to talk about, but we do have a few spots of heavier downpours, and that is mainly toward the south of Pittsburgh, right between Elizabeth and Uniontown. You see this kind of red spot right there. That's where we're seeing the heaviest rain. Now, later this afternoon, with any thunderstorms that we see, we could possibly see wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. We could also see some lightning, and I'll be tracking any heavy downpours. This could really affect us not only for your midday commute, but also your evening commute. I'm going to show you the timeline on Storm Tracker. That's coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Jessica. Now to a Target 11 exclusive investigation. A whistleblower contacted us, leading us to health and personal information that was unsecured.
And this actually impacts tens of thousands of people across the state. Target 11 investigator Rick Earl joins us at the breaking news desk with a story you're only going to see here on Channel 11. Rick, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Jen and Gordon, former employees of Insight Global, the staffing company that got a $23 million contract from the state health department to do contact tracing, reached out to Target 11 and told us that the personal health information they had collected wasn't being properly secured. Now, Target 11 was easily able to access personal health information for more than 70,000 people across the state just by clicking on links. No login or password needed. And those spreadsheets revealed the names of contacts and information concerning their health and the health of their family members. In some cases, it indicated if they tested positive for COVID-19. Now, we tracked down a couple of people in our area who were on that list.
See, we were under the impression that this was the health department, and it was all...
It is the health department.
No one's going to see this but the health department.
What is your reaction as you look at that?
I'm shocked.
The Department of Health takes the safety and security of personal information extremely serious. Appreciate you bringing this to our attention. And as soon as you did, our first priority was to isolate and protect the information that was out there that you alerted us to.
Now, in a statement to Target 11, Insight Global said, quote, "We regret that information collected by our employees during COVID-19 contact tracing may have been made accessible to persons beyond authorized employees and public health officials. Our first priority has been to secure and prevent any further access to or disclosure of information." Now, the links were shut down the day after we notified the state health department, but cybersecurity experts say that information may already be on the dark web. Now, investigations by the state health department and Insight Global are now underway to determine how all of this happened. And coming up tonight at 6, you'll hear from a state representative who's now calling for legislative hearings and even a federal investigation into all of this. Live at the breaking news desk, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
Wow, quite the breaking investigation. Rick, thank you so much for that. Look forward to that report tonight. Here at 12:12 this afternoon, down to the wire to get kids to school just days before the rest of Pittsburgh public goes back to the classroom. The district has struck a deal with a new bus company to get more kids on the bus. And we have just confirmed here within the last few hours that more than 7,000 kids actually decided to stay home within PPS and continue remote learning. So that only means about 1,700 students will start that hybrid learning on Monday. And even with that, Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond learned that some students will still be without a ride.
The district struck a deal with this bus company. It's a Pittsburgh Transportation Group. It helps, but they're still short, which means some students won't have a bus to catch.
About 500 to 600 kids still don't have a seat on a bus, but with this new agreement with Pittsburgh Transportation Group, the district says it cut the gap in half. The bus company is planning to provide 3 30-passenger buses to 6 schools. The month-long agreement doesn't start until May 10th. That's 1 week after the final chunk of about 1,700 students start their hybrid schedule. Around 8,000 other kids have already returned to the classroom.
The school will reach out. We'll know by the end of next week the routes that these will be able to fill, and the school will notify the school of who can get on these routes, and the school will also have access to all of the other students that are in the seat gap, and they can reach out to the families.
The district says it will call parents to let them know if their kids have a seat on the bus. Also, keep an eye on your mail. That information will also be sent out in mailers as well. Reporting in Pittsburgh Chateau neighborhood, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Neighbors in Wilkinsburg are fighting a proposal to open a probation facility near an elementary school. Allegheny County wants to turn the former Dollar General on Laketon Road into a community outreach center for nonviolent offenders. If approved, it would be just a 3-minute walk to a school.
What I hear is that they want a healthy community and start focusing on maybe fresh foods, exercise, and things like this. So not really a question. It's a statement from what I hear from the people of this community.
Right now, the proposal is in the planning stage. It was discussed during a zoning hearing last night.
Breaking right now, the lowest COVID numbers that we have seen in some time were just reported by the Allegheny County Health Department. This information came in just in the last few minutes here. So it says it has learned of 214 new cases within Allegheny County since yesterday, and it's also learned of 2 additional deaths, and one of those victims was in their 30s. Thousands of COVID patients still need hospital care, but the ages that need help are changing. The Geisinger Health System reported a 10% increase in patients in their 20s. Doctors say the alarming trend is a clear sign of vaccine hesitancy. Now, on the flip side, hospital stays for people 80 and older has dropped by 20%.
Now to the COVID crisis in India. Another world record daily infection and death rate today. According to the health ministry data, India reported more than 379,000 new cases and 3,645 new deaths today. It's the deadliest day so far for any country hit by the pandemic. India's second wave of infections has overwhelmed hospitals there. The capital is reporting 1 death from COVID every 4 minutes. A flight from New Delhi arrived in Rome last night carrying 210 passengers who were placed immediately in mandatory quarantine. Officials say that a new ordinance signed earlier in the day by Italy's health minister requires the passengers arriving from India quarantine for 10 days. The U.S. is sending emergency supplies to help the country. The initial shipment included test kits, N95 masks, and oxygen cylinders. The White House says the U.S. will be delivering supplies worth more than $100 million in the coming days.
There could be a new treatment if you get COVID. Pfizer is working on a pill, and they could have it ready by the end of the year. Channel 11's Amy Hudak talked to a local doctor about how the drug would work.
Pfizer CEO announcing a new experimental drug to treat COVID-19 that could be available for use as early as the end of the year. Dr. Graham Snyder is the medical director of infection prevention at UPMC.
Any news, any new developments related to therapies that can either prevent somebody from getting sick at all or prevent them from having serious complications is most welcome.
Dr. Snyder says the experimental drug is in a class called protease inhibitors, and they're already used in medications now.
We use protease inhibitors for other viral infections, particularly HIV and hepatitis C. Now, the benefit of protease inhibitors is that it stops, it puts a block in the machinery that the virus relies on to reproduce itself.
While this antiviral shows much promise, doctors caution the drug is still in the earliest phases of development, and it's not yet known if it would cure COVID-19. Dr. Snyder says drug therapies like remdesivir, steroids, and monoclonal antibody treatments are effective and are already being used. While a pill certainly could be another tool in the kit, medical professionals and local leaders say they're also focused on combating vaccine hesitancy in young adults, something that's preventing some from getting a second dose or from getting their first shot altogether.
It's a little scary. You know, you want to learn more about it before you get something in your body.
Well, young people are certainly, less at risk than folks that are in an older population. The fact is it can be spread. And the spread to our grandparents, our parents, our aunts and uncles.
We all have somebody vulnerable around us.
Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.
Pfizer has asked the FDA to authorize its vaccine that it's using right now for kids 12 to 15. The FDA has not signed off on it, though, yet.
A teenager jumped into action when she saw this apartment building on fire across the street from her home. We first followed this as breaking news yesterday at noon, and since then we've learned the teenager called 911 and her mother started yelling for people to get out. Firefighters rescued a woman from the first floor of the building on Oakwood Avenue in Westview. She is in critical condition, and 7 other people are getting help from the community and the Red Cross.
We need to all be grateful for what we have because in a blink of an eye, it can be gone.
A firefighter had some burns on his hands and needed oxygen, but we're told he is okay. It is still not clear how the fire started. Police in Pitcairn are seeing a spike in mini bikes on their streets, and they say it's becoming dangerous. They say bikers are speeding around cars and up and down alleys. The borough allows mini bikes on streets, but they must have a 50cc engine, and you need a license. Bikes with smaller engines cannot be on the streets. We're working to find out how the borough is trying to stop this danger for Channel 11 News at 5. Pittsburgh is dealing with a similar problem. Flash mobs of up to 200 people have taken to the streets on dirt bikes and ATVs. The city launched a new effort to crack down last month.
Today is President Biden's 100th day in office. He is working on getting support for his American Families Plan. He presented it to Congress last night. Now, his main focus is to spend money on social programs and rebuild America's infrastructure. The cost is $1.8 trillion, and he intends to pay for it by raising taxes on the wealthy. In the first 10 minutes of his speech, the president mentioned Pittsburgh.
There is simply no reason why the blades for wind turbines can't be built in Pittsburgh instead of Beijing. There's no reason why American workers can't lead the world in the production of electric vehicles and batteries.
And as soon as the president made those remarks, Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald tweeted, "Thank you, President Biden. We will not just build the turbine blades in Pittsburgh, we will build them better. Joe Biden always has Pittsburgh in his heart." Now, the president is trying to turn campaign promises into policy, taking his message on the road today. We have reaction from both sides in our next half hour.
A camera found hidden in the bathroom of a local Target store. Why the worker police think put it there has not been charged.
Budweiser Clydesdales. They are the most famous horses in America.
And this local family thinks that someone stole their Clydesdale, the reward they're offering to bring her home.
And I'm tracking showers and thunderstorms that we could have this afternoon. I have the latest timeline and we'll show you also when the storm threat will be over today.
The birds were just stuck to the ceiling, stuck to every wall. They were hanging onto pictures, every room.
Guess how he got rid of hundreds of birds after they invaded his home.
Welcome back. Okay, what do you see when you look at this device? Does it look like a cell phone charger to you? Well, police say it's actually a camera, and it was found in a Target bathroom. Channel 11's Ryan Houston talked to police about why they think an employee might be the one who put it there.
Most people we talk to say it's downright disgusting for anyone to put a camera inside a family bathroom.
Weird.
You're not
very weird.
supposed to have cameras in the bathroom.
First of all, yeah.
Your privacy is being invaded, and it's not something you consider when you walk in a public bathroom. You think you're safe, so that makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't think I'd quit going in there. I may not use the bathroom.
Northern Regional Police say an employee at this Target in Richland Township is the main suspect in their investigation into who put a camera in the family bathroom. Another employee found this device Monday and turned it over to management.
One employee who we would consider the suspect at this time got himself involved in the conversation, physically took the camera, removed what we're thinking is an SD card, and left the store.
Authorities tell us Target did not report the incident. They found out when another employee called police.
We are going to have a process to see if we can find any data stored, if there's any kind of internal hard drive. We do not believe there is, but we're going to let people who deal with that check for certainty.
We reached out to Target for comment and haven't heard back. No charges have been filed as of yet, and if you can help police in this investigation, please give them a call. In Richland Township, Ryan Houston, Channel 11 News.
A new study found symptoms of asthma got worse for people in Clairton after the Clairton Coke Works fire 2.5 years ago. After that Christmas Eve fire, the health department warned about high levels of sulfur dioxide, which is known to make asthma symptoms worse. Pitt researchers studied 83 patients after the fire, and they found those who lived closest to the plant had an 80% higher risk of more severe symptoms.
We just got a better idea about this year how the Three Rivers Arts Festival is going to work. So last year, you know, it was all online. So this year we found out just in the last half an hour or so that you'll be able to walk around the artist market, but free reservation tickets will be needed, and that will give you access for a 2-hour window. So you got to buy a ticket if you want to go just kind of walk around so they have an idea of how many people are going to be there. So there are 100 vendors that have signed up. More than 350 artists from across the country are going to be part of the virtual artists market. Now, as for the music, that's always a big draw too. Every Friday and Saturday and Sunday of the festival, concerts will be at the Byam Theater. You're also going to need to get some tickets for that to reserve your spot, but those tickets are free. New York City will be fully open by July 1st. Mayor Bill de Blasio says that restaurants, theaters, stores, offices, and sporting venues will all be open, and he credits the vaccine rollout and is also encouraging everyone who is eligible to get one. You know, as more things open up, a lot of people are thinking about getting out of town, taking a vacation, but that summer vacation could cost a lot more this year. Channel 11's Mike Holden talked to a traveler at Pittsburgh International who noticed the price hikes when she tried to change a flight.
With COVID-19 cases dropping and more folks getting vaccinated, we're seeing a larger turnout, in particular right here at Pittsburgh International Airport. However, experts stress you still need to be cautious and prepare to pay way more in the months ahead. After being cooped up for the last year, folks are looking to fly out. International travel searches have spiked. This all comes after the European Commission said fully vaccinated Americans can go to Europe this summer. Hopper reports Ireland, Greece, and Portugal are the hottest international summer destinations for vaccinated people. Experts say buckle up, though, and prepare for a spike in prices. As demand rises, airlines will boost their ticket fees in the U.S. and overseas. And folks we spoke with say they've seen it firsthand.
I booked these way ahead of time and got really good prices. Then they changed the flight, so then I was rebooking, and everything was like $500 a ticket. Luckily, I had booked, so they kept me at the same price, but I was freaking out because things were $500 a ticket, and I can't pay that.
Now, if you do plan on traveling, mask up, social distance, and sanitize. It is so essential. In the meantime, what is the future of cruise lines, and what is the CDC saying about additional travel restrictions? We're breaking down that part of the story for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting from Pittsburgh International Airport, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Happy Thursday. We are mild, muggy, rainy, and breezy. Winds right now at 10 miles per hour. I'll get more into the wind forecast coming up in the next half hour because the wind today will be our biggest threat, and you'll want to stick around for those details. You see the raindrops here on the tower cam looking outside. We get a pretty good view of Pittsburgh right now, but we also have reduced visibility across the area. Beaver has actually improved within just the last few minutes. Right now at 3-mile visibility, but still kind of difficult there. So just keep that in mind if you're headed out and about, maybe for lunch. This midday 5-mile-per-hour visibility in Indiana. And looking at the radar, we see a whole bunch of colors right here. The green means that we're seeing some pretty light rain. We also have some brighter colors, some yellows, oranges, and reds. That's what we call higher reflectivity. And that is where we're seeing some heavier downpours. We see that also to the east of Greensburg. So where we have the reds there, that's some pretty heavy rain. Where we're seeing more of the yellows, that's some more moderate rain. And we see that around Newcastle, Butler, Katanning, also to the west of Indiana. And that's going to continue as we go later into the afternoon. What we'll be watching later this afternoon is the potential for any thunderstorms. Now, we had a few rumbles of thunder yesterday, but no severe weather. And I think the cloud cover that we have today could really help us out with limiting our potential for any severe thunderstorms. But I do think we could have some strong thunderstorms. When I'm talking about strong, I'm talking about some very high wind gusts embedded with the thunderstorms that will be embedded in all of this rain. We could be seeing that around 5:30 around this time. This is around the evening commute. And the models had been hinting at the potential for any thunderstorms being farther off toward the north and west around Butler, Beaver, even maybe to the north of Katanning. I think we could still be seeing some rain around Pittsburgh, Greensburg, Washington, and that will continue on as we go later into the evening hours. One thing we'll have to watch is this cold front and as it moves through. As that cold front moves through, this will be important because this will be decreasing our chances for any thunderstorms. That's what we could be seeing around 9 o'clock. Possibly still seeing a few thunderstorms farther toward the south and east. But later on tonight, we're looking much drier, still holding on to the potential for a few spotty showers, light in nature, not talking about thunderstorms anymore. We could have that potential that will continue into tomorrow morning. You may have to use your umbrella first thing in the morning, just a few spots. But as we go later into the morning hours, let's say closer to 10, 11 o'clock, we will be decreasing rain chances, decreasing cloud cover, getting back to sunshine, but cooler conditions. Today, on the warmer side, near 70 degrees. Tonight, cool at 48. And we're looking at a much cooler day tomorrow because we'll be looking at that cooler air coming in behind that cold front back down into the 50s, 57 degrees. A cool start to the day on Saturday, but Saturday is looking great. Plenty of sunshine, mostly sunny, 65. Back into the 70s on Sunday. No rain, partly cloudy with a few showers as we start the new work week on Monday.
Thanks, Jessica. Pittsburghers have a love-hate relationship with bike lanes. The new survey showing there's a lot more love than you might think.
The birds were just stuck to the ceiling, stuck to every wall. They were hanging onto pictures.
Think about
every
this.
room.
And look at that. This story just gives you kind of the chills. It kind of looks like a Hitchcock movie, doesn't it? We're going to tell you how this man got rid of hundreds of birds after they invaded his house.
A new survey found Pittsburghers don't actually hate bike lanes. Bike Pittsburgh conducted a poll of 600 people, and it found 75% agree that better transportation options and more bike and pedestrian infrastructure would make the city a better place to live and work. Respondents also said creating alternatives to driving were important to get people to work on time.
Birds made themselves right at home and got a little too close for comfort inside someone's house.
The birds were just stuck to the ceiling, stuck to every wall. They were hanging onto pictures. Every room, bathrooms, bedrooms, they're all full of birds. They were just going crazy. I mean, they were hitting me in the head.
Look at that. We are talking hundreds of birds inside the house, and you can see how they got in. Look at that. They flew right down the chimney. Well, the family says they came home from dinner. They walked into a scene that looked like it was from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Dad tried to clear the house and then got the rest of the family to a hotel.
I counted 800. I stopped counting after 800. I was just grabbing them, throwing them in the box, throw them in the box, then I'd take them outside and shake them out of the box and let them go.
Think of how long that took. Now, he thought he got rid of all of the birds, all 800 of them, but he says for 2 more days, some of them were hidden and they continued to terrorize that family.
Wow. That was a
yuck.
small box, too, by the way.
I know. That's why I said, think of how long that would take there. 800 of them. My goodness.
Amazing.
Well, we're watching rain, and we could see not only some thunderstorms later today, but also some very strong winds. I'm going to break down the wind forecast and let you know how high those wind gusts could get.
away from the rain today, as you can see from Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. It is widespread right now.
Yeah, with pockets of heavy rain and storms. Meteorologist Jessica Faith is tracking it all now at Severe Weather Center 11. Jess?
Yeah, not only tracking the very wet weather that we have all across the area and potential thunderstorms we're having today, I'm tracking the biggest threat we have, which will be the high winds. Here's the sustained wind right now. We expect winds later today to be even higher. Right now, coming in, this is the sustained wind, again, not the wind gusts, coming in right now close to 20 miles per hour. Pittsburgh, 18 mile per hour wind right now in Pittsburgh, 15 mile per hour wind in Washington, 13 in Butler, 14 in Beaver. And here's the radar, very messy this midday, and we see pockets of heavier downpours in a few locations. I'm going to not only time out rain chances and thunderstorm chances for the rest of the day, but talk more in depth about how high those wind gusts will get and when they will start to calm back down.
A family practice in Pleasant Hills is looking for kids to be part of a Kovidge vaccine trial. Preferred Primary Care Physicians is actually the only one in the state that is part of this trial. It's for the Novavax vaccine. So they're trying to get 80 kids between 12 and 17 to participate, and they want to start in a couple of weeks.
Children are at less risk than adults, but they're not at zero risk. And children still can get sick and do quite poorly.
So if you want to sign up your kids for the trial, you can find some information on our website by searching for Kids Vaccine.
A new push to create vaccinated sections at big venues. Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald says sports teams, theaters, even the Pittsburgh Opera should consider this idea. The Penguins have already asked the state to allow the team to create vaccinated sections at PPG Paints Arena. Channel 11's Serafina James found out what Pittsburghers and a local doctor think of the idea.
It's the right thing to do, and I applaud the Penguins.
That was Fitzgerald's response on Wednesday when asked about the Penguins petitioning the state government and the Pennsylvania Department of Health to consider the option of creating vaccinated sections at PPG Paints Arena. Now Fitzgerald's hoping other venues, including other sports teams, theaters, and even county venues follow suit.
I know we're considering that, and probably will do that with our summer concert series at Hartwood Acres and at South Park.
Those events are slated to start in early June. By that time, Fitzgerald believes everyone in the county will have had access to receive a vaccine. According to the state's COVID-19 dashboard, there are nearly 400,000 fully vaccinated people in the county.
They don't need to be 6 feet apart. They don't need to be wearing their masks. If everybody that's been vaccinated in an area can be together.
In the meantime, the CDC still recommends masks for certain outdoor events that would draw large crowds, like concerts and sporting events. One local sports fan told me he isn't thrilled with the idea of creating vaccinated sections.
I think it's a little weird. Might go well, but I mean, I feel like it won't make a difference that much.
People who are vaccinated don't really pose a threat to others from a COVID-19 perspective.
But infectious disease expert Dr. Amesh Adalja believes sectioning off those who are vaccinated could work, and more importantly, be safe.
What we've seen in other states, in other countries, is that you can start to treat people that are vaccinated differently than people who are unvaccinated and start to be a little bit more open about social distancing and masking requirements, because we know that these vaccines are highly effective.
Serafina James, Channel 11 News.
A state lawmaker wants to thank educators for all of their hard work during the pandemic, so he has proposed giving them a bonus. It's not clear how much those bonuses would be, but the lawmaker from Berks County says that the money would come from the President's American Rescue Plan. The lawmaker wants for all teachers, pre-K through 12th grade, plus school counselors, nurses, and bus drivers to get this bonus.
Independent experts estimate the American Jobs Plan will add millions of jobs and trillions of dollars to economic growth.
President Biden is on the road today for his 100th day in office. Last night, he gave his first address to a joint session of Congress. It was to sell his American Families Plan. Now, the president is trying to turn campaign promises into policy. Our Jacqueline Fell is in Washington with reaction from both sides.
The president, vice president, and their spouses will visit about a dozen states in the next few days. Today, he'll be in Atlanta, tomorrow, Philadelphia. In the president's first joint sessions address, he laid out a set of domestic priorities like universal pre-K, free community college, and paid sick and family leave. In all, his ideas would cost more than $3 trillion, and he wants to tax the rich to help pay for it. The toughest sell, though, is right here on Capitol Hill to Republican lawmakers. They're skeptical of tax increases, saying it'll hurt the economy that's just now recovering from the pandemic.
It's a liberal wish list of big government waste.
This is an ambitious, transformative vision for seizing a once-in-a-century opportunity to build back better.
GOP lawmakers want a more traditional plan to fix roads and bridges, and one that doesn't include taxing corporations. Once the president stops traveling, the White House tells me he'll sit down with congressional leaders to talk about these initiatives in hopes of getting Republicans on board. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
Have you seen this horse? This particular horse, it vanished from a local family farm. The new reward now being offered.
The pandemic has pulled a lot of us apart, but a couple says it actually brought them together. Their pandemic love story coming up next.
COVID-19 has forced us all apart, but one Colorado couple says it brought them together.
Yeah, they met by chance, and fate really has played a role in their future. Reporter Colette Bordelon shares their story, and it really is a reminder that the way people find love can even come in the hardest of times.
COVID definitely brought us together.
Everyone has a story.
The story of how I met Evan.
A collection of moments.
It was the kind of moment that causes you to be fully present.
Ultimately leading to the ones that change our lives.
The fact that it was COVID created a set of circumstances that made it almost more special.
Around this time last April, Evan Rogers drove to Sedona, Arizona with his mountain bike in tow.
I kind of picked it up seriously during COVID.
That was at the same time Sydney Linden's massage therapist job was on pause, so she was spending lots of time outside, running.
I took a really big leap, and so this is my knee, and my knee just went like that.
A broken leg and a little less than a mile to the trailhead is when Sydney met Evan.
Exhausted, right? I'm ready for the ride to be over. Totally out of water, but you know, I'm 0.6 miles from the trailhead, so it's like not that big of a deal, right? Turns out not to be true.
When he realized she was hurt, he left his bike and carried her to the trailhead.
I immediately felt safe.
but the pain overwhelming at the end of the challenging trek down.
Walk back to get her number. And then she looks at me and she's just got tears streaming down her face. And I was just like, bye.
All she knew, his name was Evan. He was in the Air Force, and she assumed he lived in Colorado Springs. Social media had no answers, so she turned to the local paper.
It was titled, Runner Looking for Trail Hero.
Now that story has a new headline.
Very special thing that makes you look at the world differently.
Two people who cross paths, connecting instantly, in spite of the pandemic.
I don't know what life was before him.
Turning another page in their love story.
Wasn't that a little sweet one this afternoon? So Sydney is working on her master's degree in social work, and she says, though, she spends about half of her time with Evan, and he's about an hour and a half away. They're making it work.
Very nice. The mystery of a missing horse still has not been solved.
And it is just heart-wrenching for this local family who has lost a member of their family.
Budweiser Clydesdales. They are the most famous horses in America.
The reward they're now offering to bring her home.
It's probably raining at your home. We're seeing the raindrops pour. When will it wrap up? And what's the highest threat for today? I'm going to talk more about the rain chances and the wind gust forecast. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
Her owner now went up in a helicopter and flew around for 2 hours searching. There's no signs of her anywhere.
A Westmoreland County family is offering $2,000 now as a reward to get their pet horse back. Jesse, a 10-year-old Clydesdale, disappeared from their family farm over the weekend. And Channel 11's Melanie Gillespie found out why the owners believe someone stole the horse.
Given their size, you'd imagine it'd be pretty hard to walk away with a 2,200-pound Clydesdale. But the family here believes that someone walked away with 10-year-old Jessie from their Clinton Township farm, and now they're desperate for answers to get her back home.
Never had 2,200-pound animal just melt your heart. Jessie will do that to you, and she means the world to me. We just want her back.
Marjorie Gordish says Jessie, the Clydesdale, is as friendly as a dog. That's why they think someone may have easily made off with her in the middle of the night Monday.
Everybody in this community has been contacted. They spread the word around. They are amazing here. And just nothing. Nobody knows nothing. So we do believe that she was stolen.
Jessie was last seen on surveillance video at 12:17 Monday morning. Her pasture was fenced in. There's no sign of a break-in or damage to the fence. There's no way out for the 10-year-old mare. If there was, Gordish says they would see clues left behind on the pavement.
And she has road shoes on, and when borium hits the pavement, it leaves white marks. If you ever drive to Smicksburg and see the driving horses, it's so they don't skid on the pavement. They leave white marks. There is no white marks on the pavements.
Her family believes Jessie was stolen because of how valuable their breed and bloodline is.
Budweiser Clydesdales. They are the most famous horses in America. You know, everybody wants one. Everybody thinks, oh, I have a piece of Budweiser. It's just a breed of horses, but they are majestic, they're beautiful, and they are babies.
The family is heartbroken. They've searched by ground and by air. Every kill lot has been contacted in the country, and there's still no sign of Jessie. The family is now offering a $2,000 reward for anyone who can help bring Jessie back home.
If you took her, call me. My phone number is out there. You know my name. I'll keep it anonymous. I'll come get her, or just bring her back. You know, we don't want no fuss, no nothing. We just want her home.
If you have any information, you're asked to give State Police in Butler a call, or you can call Marjorie directly with any tips. We'll have her number on our website, WPXI.com. Reporting in Clinton Township, I'm Melanie Gillespie for Channel 11 News.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
We've seen a lot of rain today moving from the west toward the east, as you can see here on live Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar, getting a still image right now. You see that the rain is falling more than it is not, just a few gaps there. But we're going to continue to keep the rain rolling as we head throughout the afternoon. Here's a look at the rain impact forecast, really timing it out for you. We're going to see a lot of rain throughout the afternoon and early evening. Now, as we move towards sunset, especially later tonight, we're going to be decreasing our rain potential and impacts in a pretty big way. So around, let's say 9 to 12 a.m., really wrapping up the rain chances, maybe just a few spotty showers here and there. But overall, the main part of the day that you'll have to be concerned about, especially if you're going to be out and about, especially if you're going to be out on the roads, will be this afternoon and early this evening. And we know early this evening, people will be on the roads, getting off of work, maybe going out to dinner. So just keep that in mind. Along with the rain, we could have some thunderstorms. Any storms that develop have the potential for providing some pretty strong winds. We're already seeing pretty strong winds right now, just with the winds flowing in at the surface. Very strong, around 10 to even 20 miles per hour, gusting way higher than that. I'm going to show you that right now. So right now, the current wind gust, we're gusting over 30 miles per hour in Pittsburgh, gusting over 20 miles per hour in Butler. So we're seeing some pretty strong winds. Again, this is current. This is what we're seeing right now. As we go throughout the rest of the day, we will continue to see winds even elevate. But we're also going to see a cold front move through, and this will greatly decrease the wind speed, but still looking pretty elevated as we head into the evening hours. So around 2:30, notice how these winds could be over 40 miles per hour, even pushing closer to 50 mile per hour wind gusts around Uniontown. This is later this afternoon. I'll go ahead and say, if you have anything outside that needs to come in or be tied down, make sure to do that coming up pretty soon, because you don't want to wait until later this afternoon, where we continue to see wind gusts around 30 to even 40 miles per hour. I mentioned that cold front. The cold front will move through, not only providing cooler air, but also calmer winds. And we'll see winds will continue to be elevated on the front side of that cold front. Behind the cold front, winds will be decreasing. Now, not affected by the cold front just yet. We still see pretty mild temperatures this midday. Hey, Morgantown, you've made it to 70 degrees. The rest of us in the mid to upper 60s. Temperatures will continue to increase into the upper 60s, near 70 degrees, dealing with potential thunderstorms until around the time that we go towards sunset. After sunset, the cold front will be passing or have passed through. Then we're looking at calmer conditions, and our potential for any thunderstorms will have been greatly decreased by that time. Here's your 5-day forecast. We have many changes. One change, we're clearing things out for Friday. We could see a few showers to start the day. by the afternoon. We're looking much better, calmer and cooler at 57 degrees. A beautiful start to the weekend. Mostly sunny, 65. Mix of sun and clouds on Sunday, 77, with a few showers on Monday.
Jessica, thank you so much. Walmart has filed a complaint with the U.S. Patent Office against Kanye West. So the company says the design for Kanye's new logo looks too much like the logo it's been using since 2007. So Walmart's logo is there on the right. It kind of looks like a sun, and then you saw the other logo from Kanye. There it is again on the left, and you can see kind of has those dotted lines from that. So this is his proposed new logo for his Yeezy brand. Right now, Walmart is arguing that those two look too much alike, and Kanye's design is likely to cause some confusion.
Hey guys, come here. No, really, come here. I want you to see this because it is my favorite thing. Okay, so recently I was looking for machine washable carpets in my house because I like things to be clean, and that's not easy, right? I couldn't really find anything, and then guess who we started partnering with on Local Steals and Deals? My Magic Carpet. Do you see this beautiful carpet? This is made to go in the washing machine. It's made for that. It has a special backing. Wait till you hear about it. Beautiful patterns, 3 different sizes. This one was on the floor in my kitchen in front of my sink. Now I have them everywhere. They feel great on your feet. They are beautiful in your home, and they are such a great peace of mind. Please say hello to my new best friend who made this all possible, Mike.
We wanted a rug where it had some type of layer between the top fabric and the bottom, so that if there was a spill or an accident, it wouldn't seep through to the hard surface flooring, because we didn't want to ruin the floor below. And so anyway, they came up with this waterproof barrier. So the features of the rug is that it's stain resistant, it's non-slip, it's got a waterproof barrier, and so it's kid friendly and pet friendly, and just a great solution for every household.
Thank you so much, Mike. I love this entire idea, and I love the fact that he really made them beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Different sizes, different patterns. You can see them all on localsteals.com. I love that this backing is made to go in the washer and dryer again and again without breaking down. I love that it's something that right now on localsteals.com you can actually save 20 to 25% off on. Now you can throw it in the washing machine. You don't have to worry about walking on it and the kids being on it, the pets being on it, without being able to wash it and dry it. And by the way, your home looks great.
Well, the Penguins are getting healthy just in time here. Evgeny Malkin was on the ice for full practice, and Gino is traveling with the team this weekend. They play the Capitals tonight, and first place is on the line. And there are just 6 games left here in the regular season, so best of luck to the Pens. And just up the road, about 2 hours, thousands of football fans are heading to Cleveland for the NFL draft. 4,000 to 5,000 of them are going to be allowed in a special vaccinated fans area close to the stage. Jacksonville Jaguars have the first pick today. The draft continues through Saturday, and the Steelers have 8 picks, including the 24th overall pick in the first round. I want to let you know we do have a special draft show happening tonight for you. It'll be simulcast on Channel 11 and WPXI Now at 7:30.
If you're looking for a new car, you may want to rethink the color. The website I See Cars found that certain colors hurt the resale value. Gold was the worst, followed by brown, purple, black, and white. Those colors sold for half of what other colors sold for. The best color, apparently, this is a little surprising, yellow. A little sneak peek of Legoland New York. It's set to open this summer and has attractions like Bricktopia and Lego Factory Adventure and theme lands like Lego Castle. Half the park will still be under construction when the rest opens. A one-day pass is $72. Legoland Hotel is also set to open nearby, and moms and dads.
This is Take 5, highlighting Western Pennsylvania's most innovative and successful businesses.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Take 5. I'm Joe Klemchak. Derby Day is coming up, the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. And there's no better place to watch it locally than in Washington, PA, at the Meadows. Donnell Mock is the marketing director for the Meadows Standardbred Owners Association. She joins us now. Donnell, this is an exciting time for your team and really all harness racing fans as Triple Crown